Do you know what typhoons are? Typhoons are a bunch of clouds and thunderstorms that originate over tropical or subtropical ocean waters, forming a cloud circulation. Now, we can notice a lot of people mention different names like hurricane, cyclone, and typhoon, but refer to only one phenomenon that differs on its location. Hurricane is a tropical cyclone that originates in North America and the Caribbean. In the Indian Ocean, they're called cyclones. In the Southeast Asia, they are called typhoons. Well, we can say that this typhoon simply exists because it's a natural happening that occurs from time to time.
Have you ever wondered how typhoons are formed? Well, today I will be explaining how typhoons are formed and where do typhoons commonly occur. Typhoons form over the warm ocean water of the tropics. When warm moist air over the water rises, it is replaced by cooler air. The cooler air will then warm and start to rise. The temperature difference between the warm rising air and the cooler environment enhances the upward movement of the rising air. This cycle causes huge storm clouds to form, and that will begin to rotate with the spin of the Earth, forming an organized system. If there is enough warm water, the cycle will continue and the storm clouds and wind speed will grow, causing a typhoon to form. Now, where do typhoons commonly occur? Tropical cyclones occur over the ocean with plenty of warm water, usually in the areas near the equator, because warm water in these areas allow typhoons to form. Typhoon season is typically between late June until sometime during the month of December. In the Philippines, there are places where typhoons commonly occur, and one of those places is Batanes. 6 typhoons have hit Batanes directly in the last 30 years. Perhaps any Batan 50 years old and above have seen probably 10 already in their entire lifetime. If you are only visiting Batanes for a few days, the probability of you meeting a typhoon in Batanes is less than 1%. It is extremely unlikely.
The things we need to prepare before the typhoon. First aid kit, flashlight, food, water, radio, personal hygiene kit. An emergency pack is a container or bag that contains items that may be needed during an incident or accident and a disaster. It should be ready all the times, in a prominent place, easily accessible if needed. A family with a complete emergency pack has a greater chance of survival during a deluge. Steps in how to prepare before the typhoon. Number 1. Make a plan. Number 2. Build a kit. Number 3. Be informed.
In some instances, what will you do to get ready before, during, and after the typhoon? For a typhoon, have a disaster plan, board up windows, know where all the evacuation routes are, prepare a disaster supply kit for your home and car. Have enough food and water for at least 3 days, include a first aid kit. Have some cash handy, banks and ATMs may be temporary colos. Make sure your car is filled with gasoline. During a typhoon, stay away from low-lying and flood-prone areas. Leave mobile homes and go to a shelter. If your home is not a higher ground, go to a shelter. After a typhoon, check for injured or trapped people without putting yourself in danger. Watch out for flooding, which can happen after a typhoon. Do not attempt to drive in flooding water. Stay away from standing water. It may be electrically charged from underground or downed power lines. Don't drink tap water until official.
First aid can save lives. When it comes to more serious injuries, first aid provides an essential role in keeping a casualty from getting worse and helps to stabilize their condition before professional help can arrive. CPR plays a core role in first aid training, and quick application is crucial. So having a trained first aider on site who can stay composed under pressure is highly beneficial.
Francis Lozano, Adonis Jimenez, Veronica Vera, Ashley Gwen Santos, Alan Guillermo,